Hey guys, so today we are going to be breaking down the free-to-play Android 21 coming to the game, as well as full power Frieza ZENKAI Awakening, and some other stuff that we have as part of this week's update for the game. So let's start with free-to-play 21 here. Again, in terms of what I'm looking for, she is already stated to be a range type damage dealer. Looks like she is red, which is actually pretty good because on the Android team there are a lack of red units. I think the best red unit on the Android team is what, like Revival Cell. So this is good that she's red. So let's go ahead and take a look at her. Hoping she's just, a solid damage dealer. Looks like she has some utility as well. They mentioned that she does seal strikes and have an anti-revival mechanic. So her stats, they actually are a little bit lower than I was hoping for. Because let me actually pull up on a different window here the green free-to-play Frieza. He was the most recent free-to-play unit that we got. So we look at green Frieza here. His main offensive stat was strike attack for 248,000, and then the blast was 235. Strike defense was 163, and then blast defense was 161. So pretty much across the board, he just has better stats than this free-to-play 21, but maybe she can make up for it in what she does with her kit here. She, of course, is part of the Dragon Ball FighterZ episode there. Looks like she holds a Paralysis Blast card. Got fantastic. I'm looking forward to this. Blast card with paralyzed effect when enemies hit, 50% chance to activate. Of course, she's on androids, regen, and girls. All teams that really need help right now, so that's a very good start for this unit. In terms of her arts cards, looks like normal strike. Her blast is damage cut penetration. So she applies attribute upgrade minus 20% to enemy sustained damage cut effects to self for 5 timer counts upon activation. That actually is, I think, better than people will give it credit for. Penetrating 20% of enemy sustained damage cut actually is pretty good, and it looks like, because it lasts for 5 counts, you can stack this up like 3 times if you have a bunch of blast cards in your hand, so that actually will be pretty effective. The blue card is the Kamehameha. Massive! Wow, okay, she gets massive. I think Frieza also did get massive on his blue card. Yeah, because his entire kit was based around the blue card. 20% to special move damage inflicted for 3 timer counts. Increases Dragon Balls by 1 on hit. That is very good. Wow. This is like one of the best blue cards in the game. Massive plus extra damage, plus you just guaranteed get a Dragon Ball on hit. You can get the 2 of those. Yeah, that is I'm very impressed by that blue card. The green card is a basic power-up green card. She draws a blast card, changes strike arts cards to blast cards, which is very good because we know that her blast card does penetrate sustained damage cut. Gets 40 ki and 20%. This is a very good green card as well. Wow, okay, so far, she is looking very good just based upon what we know from her actual arts card effects. Main ability is Enhanced Energy. She draws a blue card next, which is very good because you know that she gets a Dragon Ball from her blue card, so that's good. Restores health by 25% and ki by 30. And then 30% to damage inflicted for 30 counts. The only gripe I have with this main ability is the fact that she only gets 30 ki instead of 50 ki, because her blue card does cost 50 ki. So there's, a very rare scenario where you're going to pop this main ability and you're not going to be able to use the blue card right away, which can be a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Z ability, I'm hoping for something to do with androids, please. Okay, nice. Androids and regen. Base blast attack and defense, and then 18% to characters that are both android and regen blast attack. So, Cell, 21. Who else is on there on the android team like that would get help? Let me see. So I have like a million tabs open here just because I want to be able to look at both screens at the same time. So obviously Cell is android and regen. Oh, looks like the site's loading. Okay. But yeah, the 2 that come to mind right away are Cell and 21. So Cell's going to get helped by this. Looks like we also have... Who else? That actually might be it. Cell and 21 on the regen and android team simultaneously. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, I'll take that. The first unique ability is Combat Ready Scientist. Applies the following effects self when battle starts... Or sorry, when the character enters the battlefield. 80% of damage inflicted cannot be stacked and cannot be cancelled. That's already pretty good. 30% of blast damage inflicted. Reduces damage received by 40% and randomly destroys 1 enemy card. That's pretty good. For like the baseline of the unit, that is a good start. 30% damage inflicted when causing a character with a revives when health reaches 0 effect to revive while this character is on the battlefield. So it is an anti-revive mechanic, but I'm not really that enamored by this particularly, just because, like, yeah, 30% is nice. And, it's good that she gets an effect from doing the anti-revival stuff, but if you're using her on the Android team and you have LF Cell just has a much superior anti-revival mechanic, but at least she does have something. So if you do get this anti-revival mechanic off with 21, she'll actually have, what is that, 140% blast damage after the effect kicks in, so that is pretty good. Appropriate Measures is the second unique ability. The following effects occur every time when faced with an enemy. So she actually gets 30, technically she gets 30 ki on switch in, so that's good. -5 to own blast and special move arts cost for 10 counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade -30% to HP restoration. Seals enemy strike cards when changing cover, and then the sealed arts cannot be used for 5 counts. So the second unique ability is not really that good. I mean, getting 30 ki on switch in and every time the enemy switches out is pretty good, but overall I think she actually looks pretty solid. The biggest thing for me is both this the blue card effect and the blast card effect I think are very, very good for her. So stats are a little bit low, unfortunately. Like 200, like low 240s for a new character's main offensive stat is definitely low for 2022, but we shall see how good she is once we actually take her into battle. Obviously, next we have the ZENKAI for full power Frieza. Now, I haven't looked at his kit yet, so I don't know what this is going to be about here, but I will say before we even take a look here, I definitely do expect this to be like a ZENKAI merge Zamasu scenario, where he's probably not going to be getting that many upgrades, but because he's already pretty decent, I mean, if you guys saw my showcase with him, I think I did it like 4 or 5 days ago at this point, he actually did look impressive even before his ZENKAI, so he doesn't need much. Like, honestly, as long as he gets a pretty big, sizable buff to his defensive stats, and then like some other kind of defensive utility, that's fine. And then his ZENKAI ability will help as well. So let's go ahead and take a look here. If we go into his details, so this is pretty much what he's looking like before his ZENKAI. So again, I'm hoping for like mid 180s to maybe 190 for defenses. And then for his offenses, I mean, he's a defensive character, so he's probably going to end up with like mid 250s to his offenses there. They're pretty equal, so we'll see. All right, so let's go ahead and bump him up to the max. And 2.8 million HP is pretty good. Okay, he actually does crack 260, and then his, oh my god, those defenses, 189 and 194 to blast defense. Okay, yeah, actually those are a little bit higher than I was anticipating for this Frieza. Almost 195,000 blast defense. That's good. All right, so let's see what they did here. This is obviously not going to be impacted by anything. The blue card, I don't really expect them to change because it already has a 100% chance to inflict bleed, and it nullifies endurance. Let's just see. Yeah, that didn't change at all. I really did not expect that to change at all because it's already pretty good. The green card, I also don't really expect to change at all. It already does 30% of damage inflicted, and then it counters tap shots, blast arts, special arts, special move, and awaken cards, and then you can combo with the blue card. So let's see. 30% damage for 15. Okay, so they actually buffed it. It used to last for 10 counts. Now it's 15 counts. But then it looks like the rest, yeah, the rest is the same, which makes sense. Main ability. The one thing I'm kind of hoping they do for the main ability is maybe give him a little bit of health restoration. Because right now all it does is it draws a blue card, gives 50% blast damage for 15 counts, and then 100% to the next special move damage inflicted. Something else they could do is just change the blast damage up to just general damage, but let's see what they did. Oh yeah, they did give him ki. That is also something else that I wanted to, so that is really good. Looks like that's all they... Yeah, that is all they did. I'll definitely take the ki. I think the ki is pretty important for that. But don't forget that he also does already get 50 ki on switch in. So if you switch into this character and immediately pop the main ability, he's getting 90 ki, which is obviously ridiculous. Okay, I'll take this. Z ability is not going to change ZENKAI. So the ZENKAI ability, right? There's three scenarios here. The first scenario is we get a Frieza, and each one has their pros and cons. Frieza Force is the first choice. I personally would probably think that's like the lowest one that I would want to get, or the least impactful one. Obviously, it wouldn't be bad if we got Frieza Force, but you know, if we ever get like a yellow cooler, like he wouldn't be buffing cooler, stuff like that. The second one is obviously a yellow LOE, which I think is probably the best outcome. And the reason why I think yellow LOE is better than yellow powerful opponent, which is the third outcome, is because Powerful Opponent, while that would probably make him good as a bench character for the actual Powerful Opponent team, we're eventually going to get the Angel Friezas from the Tournament of Power, and those Angel Friezas most likely will not be on the Powerful Opponent tag. So that's why I think, just for the sake of the LOE team specifically, he will be a better asset to the team if he was yellow LOE specifically. So what is he? Yellow LOE. Okay, perfect. Nice. That's what I wanted. Perfect. I couldn't. Okay, already good enough. Unique ability. So the first one is 50 key, 50% to damage inflicted, and then minus 20 to special move arts cost. So what do they do? 50 key, 50% damage inflicted. Okay. Oh wow, yeah. Nice. This is exactly what I asked for, because I said right now what he does is he gives himself 50% damage inflicted for 10 counts. They bumped it up to 15, which is very good. And then the same thing for the special arts cost from 10 to 15 counts. 10 counts is a little bit short, so I'm really glad that they bumped that up to 15. Second unique ability, what did that do? Oh yeah, this was the cover cut one. So the only thing I really wanted them to do for this one is reduces damage received by 50% and enemy key by 35. So the first things first, I want them to remove the +2 to own sub count when activated. That's like an outdated mechanic that we really don't need anymore. This is probably a long shot, but I really want him to destroy enemy cards on switch in. So let's see what they did here. Reduces reduces damage received by 50% until combo ends, and reduces enemy key by 40. So that actually went up by 5. So instead of reducing enemy key by 35, it now does enemy key by 40. And wow, he actually restores health by 30% instead of 20% now, after his endurance is popped. And they got rid of, they did get rid of the +2 to sub count. Perfect. So far, this guy's looking really, really good. Okay, so the two new unique abilities we have: You Wanted Me at My Strongest, so here I am. Applies the following effects itself when battle starts, so he gets 15% extra damage, 10% extra reduces damage received, and plus 50%. That key recovery is going to come in handy so much, because this team has crazy amounts of key recovery already. But think about this: when he switches, he's getting 60% reduced damage received on top of 190k plus to both defensive stats. This guy's going to take like almost 0 damage. So that's very, very good. The extra 15% of damage inflicted is good as well, because he already gets 50% here. So he's going to be doing 65% to damage inflicted. Plus, don't forget, with his main ability, he's getting 100% to the next special move damage and an extra 50% blast damage. So if you pop his main ability, he's going to be at, 115% blast damage. Yeah, that's it's pretty good. All right, the final unique ability is 15% of damage inflicted against tag Saiyan. Okay. Applies the following effects to enemy every time when faced with an enemy. Inflicts attribute downgrade minus 20% of health restoration, and then plus 5 to special move arts cost. You guys, what character do you think this is designed to to be good against? Obviously, Goku and Vegeta. So when the enemy switches into Goku and Vegeta, they heal for less, and their card cost goes up. But the extra 15% damage to Saiyans is very... So just imagine you're fighting a Saiyan team, right? I mean, it's like Saiyans, I would assume, reprise like 80% of the game or something like that. So 15% here. You have 15% here, so that's 30%. Then you have 50% here, so he's basically doing 80% damage to Saiyans from his unique abilities alone. You pop his main ability, he's doing 130% blast damage to Saiyans, and then his special move damage is going to basically just one-shot them. So they actually made him a little better than I was thinking they would. The stats on top of everything he's doing. Again, the one thing I really wanted them to do was give him the card destruction on cover cut or cover change, but I mean, I'm definitely content with what they did for this unit. Yellow LOE ZENKAI ability. He's looking very, very, very good. Definitely excited to test him out. And then we're not done. We are not. There's one other thing I did want to point out, which is definitely not a minor thing either. If we go to the equipment archive and we scroll down to the unique equipment spot, the unique equipment area, we have this right here. This is an equipment. I hope you guys understand how insane this is about to be. This is a Frieza Saga equipment. It gives 10% to health. It gives 15% to both defenses, and it gives 30% to blast attack. If you guys remember the build for LOE that I created, that team is using both full power Friezas and the revival Frieza. All 3 of those Friezas are from the Frieza Saga. You just use 3 of these equipments on that team. This equipment, I mean, you think about like the change in LOE. This is, dude, we only have one other unique equipment in the game that is for a Saga that gives HP, and that is for the Future Trunks Saga. This is probably the most well-balanced equipment, unique equipment that we have for a Saga in the game. I mean, it's actually, this equipment is very, very powerful. And the fact that this goes on all the staples for LOE pretty much. I mean, the only staples that this does not go on, I would guess, well, I mean, Chilled obviously can't use this, but I wouldn't really call Chilled a staple character that you bring in. I think you only really bring Chilled when you're fighting Bardock. But LF First Form Frieza, if you want to still use him, he's not going to be able to use this. The green Pod Frieza is not going to be able to use this, but both Full Power Friezas and the Revival Frieza, I would say Revival Frieza you pretty much bring into every fight, and then the same thing goes for LF Full Power. But they both use this. I mean, this is a must-run on both of those units, so yeah, very, very good addition to LOE right here. So with that said, let me know down below what you guys think about this update. By the way, Legends has been releasing a ton of stuff. The Android 21 event is getting an extra stage. This is where you actually farm the new Android 21. I'm actually behind in doing videos. I wanted to make sure that I got those 2 Dokkan anniversary videos out today. There's so much stuff in Dokkan that I'm behind on. I haven't done the 14-star Revival Frieza or 14-star Kaioken Goku showcases. I have to do the showcase on this Frieza. I have to do double Zenkai buff showcase for LF Full Power Frieza. I have to do the like 50 different variants of LOE showcase. I have to do the 21 showcase. I have to do the new equipment showcase. Like, there's like 70 things I have to do. But that is good. Legends is pushing out a bunch of content, and that is what this game needs. I would actually argue that this is the pace that this game should be pushing out content on a weekly basis. So I'm really happy to see that they're doing this. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know down below what you guys think about all the stuff coming out. Hope you guys enjoyed again, and I'll see you all in the next one.